Duke is really solid in their upper weights, so it's going to be a battle of the lower weights and upper weights, and who can win those toss-up matches in between.
It's Garrison White versus Thayer Atkins as we are underway on BTN Plus. White in the home singlet purple for the Wildcats. Atkins in gray for the Blue Devils.
Both these guys, Thayer Atkins with an 8-9 overall record and Garrison White with 11-10 record. So both these guys looking around 500 winning percentage. So tonight's going to be an interesting battle to see who can get things started for either team to build some of that momentum.
Of course, for Northwestern fans, Garrison White was pinned in the Wildcats' last duel down in Lincoln. Wrestled 10th ranked Tim Lambert and was pinned in 87 seconds against the Cornhuskers.
A little bit of back and forth action here. No one's really committed to any attacks. Maybe, that always has to go back into whether the weight cut was all right. Within an hour, it can be tough. One bad weight cut, and it can really dictate the pace from the beginning. So Garrison White really looks in control right now. Something to be cautious of for the viewers is, the out-of-bounds rule. But Garrison White locks up a body lock. We're going to see if he used it in anything.
He's working towards it, trying to get that leg. So he can turn Atkins. Unsuccessful so far.
Thayer Atkins did a good job, He wasn't stalling. He wasn't really, but the ref's going to call. The ref's going to call Thayer for stalling, and I thought that was going to happen. Sometimes you'd like to see that a little earlier, but the ref continued the action. And I think that was the right call just because the wrestling was on the edge. Thayer wasn't really backing out, but, you can see that he was really favoring that edge, and I think the ref made a good call right there.
Atkins, a sophomore from Dallas, Texas. He's 8-9 on the season, as Johnny said. He's lost 4 of his last 5 matches, including most recently a major decision to Joey Dance, the 3rd-ranked wrestler from Virginia Tech. Of course, Garrison White, one of the 3 seniors we mentioned in the opening. He is from Concord, North Carolina. Still no score early on. Malone gets the head. White rather gets the head.
It seems, Garrison is going to be pushing the pace so far this match. Maybe a little bit of a strength factor. He looks to be a little stronger in these positions. We're going to see if anyone can, get a good point. Thayer's really scrappy, though. He's in that position all the time underneath, and he did a great job coming to his feet. And, that could be frustrating as a wrestler when you got a guy who's really not dictating the pace, but he's reacting, and he's got a good defense, and that's what Thayer Atkins is really portraying right now. He's really solid defense.
And, of course, White, one of the more aggressive wrestlers on the squad. He's tied for 10th in the entire country with 5 tech falls on the season. So, he would love to push the pace, as you said, Johnny, but as the first period winds down, it doesn't look like he'll be able to put any points on the board as we're approaching the first period horn.
Like you said, Garrison White tied 10th in the country for tech falls, and especially for a guy who likes to score points, and he's really not able to score points in that first 3 minutes. That can really take a toll mentally, just because sometimes you get worried about not scoring if your preparation hasn't been the best. The best thing for Garrison White is to focus in on bottom now and to get out. For Thayer Atkins, he wasn't really getting things done on his feet. Maybe he's going to be able to use this top game to score some points early on.
Well, and we talked before going on air here that these first 3 matches, Northwestern, arguably, we think they have to come out with at minimum probably 12 points in the first 3 matches. They're going to get a forfeit at 133, so they need decisions here at 125 and then at 141 if they are going to take home this duel.
Absolutely. They need those early decisions, and Thayer Atkins, did a great job. Garrison White and Thayer just collided right there a second ago. Thayer got underneath him for that single. He's going to look to really score some points here, brings him to the edge. That's a great job by Garrison, extending that leg, and he looks to get a leg of his own, but there's a cradle locked up for Thayer Atkins. It could be trouble depending on where Garrison goes, and that's gonna be a takedown for Thayer Atkins on the edge. No back points yet. It's a very questionable call. However, the new rules, you got to be on the hip. So, as a coach, you see Matt Storniolo and Tim Szewski talking about it. I think Garrison touched his hip really fast. I think there for a split second that there was contact, so the ref's going to stay and the coaches aren't going to challenge it. So it's going to be 2-1 Thayer Atkins, and that was a great job by Thayer. Really, didn't really take a lot of chances in the beginning of this match and the match so far, but the one shot he really took was pretty precise, and he got underneath Garrison White for the takedown.
And White will get the escape, even it up at 2 as we approach 50 seconds to go in this second period. We'll see what he will do now. As you said, Atkins doing a nice job picking his spots there for the takedown and also not allowing White to get any sort of hold where he can score effectively.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, under a minute left, that was huge for Garrison White, not only from riding time purposes to, you know, get out and escape, but just to, you know, tie this matchup. If he wasn't an escape there and Thayer gets out in the third period, now he's going to be down by 2 instead of 1. So it's all about strategy, and you're going to continue to wrestle, and we're going to see if Garrison continues to keep that pace there. And this time, Garrison White gets called for stalling, backing out of bounds. There you get a new glimpse of the new stall calls, and the Northwestern coaches aren't going to be happy with that one.
Looks like the clock was running. I think the referees will take a look at that. Yeah, the players were both outside the ring. The whistle blew, and the clock ran down, and now you're seeing 11.7. We're seeing the clock tick down towards that, so we're not sure what actually happened. As we can check out that takedown by Atkins, the lone one of the match here. And you can explain here, Johnny, what were you saying with the hip?
Yeah, right there on the hip, Garrison White early on. It got a little cut off. Reach for that far leg, got caught up on his far hip. And, you know, even though he wasn't really in any danger right there, is that new rule. As soon as that no reaction time happens, you hit that hip, ref's going to call 2, and that's what he did, going out of bounds there. So, you know what, maybe, you know, Garrison White looked for an opportunity, didn't get it, but that's what you like to see. You like to see that action in wrestling. You like to see guys score points, and as we covered earlier, that's what Garrison White likes to do.
Before he was pinned by Lambert in Lincoln last weekend, he had 2 straight victories, did White. He defeated Stephen Polakowski, a 5-4 decision early in that Minnesota match, and then Francis Edelin was the tech fall, as we said, his 5th of the season, which leads the team and is 10th in the country.
Usually this clock issue gets solved a lot sooner. I don't know what the purpose is of this meeting. Maybe
well, I don't know if the clock on your screen doesn't match the clock we had here at Walsh Ryan Arena, because one of them was set.
Yeah. And
the other one was running, and now Coach Lanham of Duke will come over to the table. He's in his 4th season, Glenn Lanham, 4th season, the University of Tennessee alum. He was an All-American for the Volunteers, and prior to transferring into Knoxville, he was an All-American at Oklahoma State. So strong wrestling pedigree for the Duke coach. He's 31-40 in his 4 seasons in Durham. Of course, Northwestern led by interim head coach Matt Storniolo. They're 1-12 this year, 0-8 in Big Ten duels. They've wrestled a lot better of late, I mean, minus that Nebraska loss, but obviously took Illinois and Minnesota down to the wire and arguably should have came out victorious in both those matches.
Absolutely. You know, Northwestern has had pretty much like a roller coaster year this year from the beginning of the year, and they're starting to peak at the right time. Unfortunately, they had, like you said, really tough losses to both Minnesota and Illinois. But as a coach, interim Matt Storniolo has got to be happy with the guys, making improvements throughout the year. And, you know, this is going to be an important match for Northwestern tonight to, you know, get that second win underneath their belt and really get themselves moving going into next weekend, this weekend against Sunday against Wisconsin, and then next weekend we're going to have the week off and whatnot and get ready for the Big Ten tournament.
All right, 35.3 is the official time as the referee blows it back to action in the second period of our opening match.
You know, when you get a break like that, you know, we're going to see Garrison White picking up that pace again. He's constantly using that motor. Hasn't seemed to get tired yet, so that's what the coaches like to see. He's really pushing the pace again. Action call there. That was good by the referee not to put Garrison White in jeopardy there. The clock has seemed to have some issues.
It says 12.8 on the screen. Clock here is running again. Not sure what the...
It's going to be 12.8, like you said. Yep.
I think the time on the BTN Plus feed is locked and loaded. It's the time here at the arena that's giving everybody issues. But another stoppage as Coach Storniolo and Garrison White discuss a little bit of strategy with 12.8 seconds remaining in the second period.
You see both wrestlers really taking advantage of this stopped clock time, talking to their coaches. You know, any type of advice helps, especially in a close match like this. You got 12.8 seconds left in the second period, tied up 2-2. Anything you're going to get from your coaches is going to be, you know, useful. Both guys locking up A lot of movement here. That's what you like to see early on in 125-pounders. A lot of hand fighting. White, there you go, on another shot. So he's gone in on quite a few shots. This was the first one. It looked like he was going to get somewhat of a finish on. Unfortunately, ran out of time. With that said, Thayer Atkins is going to choose bottom going into the third period. And
what do you think White's strategy would be? Does he let him escape and try for the
right
takedown?
now,
Or
well, there's 39 seconds of riding time. He's got plenty of time. If he wants to ride him out, look for that riding time, or you get a turn. Garrison White does get a lot of his tech falls from the turns on top. So I think the coaches are going to let him turn on top, and they're going to let him there, and he's going to get maybe a 2 count. A lot of back and forth, but looks like there's going to be a 2 count, and there he goes. That's a good count for Garrison White. There we go, getting the near fall. He's going to get a 4 count again. He's got to be careful, obviously, with the arching in the back, but got a 4 count there, and that's what the Wildcats are really all jacked up on the sidelines.
Big 4-point near fall for White as he takes the 6-2 lead in the third period.
And you know, Adam, with these new rules, Garrison can really take advantage, you know, turning this decision into a major, even a fall here. Now the rule back points, for those of you who don't know, the new near fall rules change from 3 to 4 points if you get the full awarded time. So that's what a lot of people this year have been really having an emphasis on top rather than letting people go. They want to get that extra point.
That's
2 turns, yeah.
To enhance the scoring, to encourage scoring, obviously, and White really working Atkins at this point here in the third.
He's got a really deep half. He's got a bar in on one side and half, and this is going to be really tough for Thayer Atkins to get out. Garrison White's got another 4 count. The ref is holding, but he's going to be looking for the fall here. That's what he wants.
See him torquing Atkins. We'll see. Referee right in there. It's getting close. We'll see if he can hold it.
40 seconds left. Plenty of time for Garrison White. He's really got to settle. He's got to readjust his head. See, he shouldn't have let that go. What he should have done is just readjusted his chest to go underneath that shoulder blade. But, you know, he's going to get another 4, so we're going to see if he's going to try to go for another turn. He's going to possibly get that riding time. Maybe get another turn here.
Major is definitely in play at 10-2 with over a minute of riding time now. And the clock runs out, so it will be the major decision for Garrison White. So